My name is Holly Ratclaff, and I'm the incumbent here at Christchurch in Sorel-Tracy in Quebec. And I'm speaking inside the old rectory. The old rectory has quite a history. It was built at the same time as the church. They're both historic monuments, but the rectory was sold in the late 60s and has since taken on various vocations, the last of which was a bar. 2 years ago, in 2005, the new French-speaking congregation saw that this house it was up for sale, and saw that this house could be a wonderful setting for this new ministry, this new venture in French Quebecois mission here in Sorel. So our bishop responded enthusiastically, and the diocese bought the rectory back at a time when dioceses and parishes are usually selling off property. But the idea is that this will be our home for all our activities over time. This was 2 years ago, 2005, that the diocese bought the rectory back. We're now in 2007, and we have our third work party here doing some more cleaning, but we're not actually in the house yet. And that's because what we discovered and what the architect discovered over time is that the house is in an unusable state. There's major work to be done just in order to be able to use the plumbing, and a new entry for the electricity, not to mention restoration work on the exterior, the roof, and so on. But I'm here in the midst of this work party, and we're looking forward to opening the door for the first time to the parish, to the congregation, and also to the local community in a week's time, on July 8th, 2007, when we'll be celebrating the 223rd anniversary of the parish. And what we've decided is it's time to open the door and share our dream of this house, even though it's in the state that it's in. We've done a lot of work in those 2 years behind the scenes, and we hope to share some of that this fall. We will be beginning a fundraising campaign this fall at the end of October, formally, with a souper bénéfice, benefit supper. And a lot of work has been done to secure grants and to build up an infrastructure of people who would be interested in working with us from the larger community on this fundraising and restoration renovation project. So that's where we are, and I invite you to come back next Sunday as we celebrate our 223rd anniversary here in the rectory. Let me just add that the activities that we hope to see happen here would include the liturgy, which we normally associate with a church, but would be conducted here in a space that is more agreeable for liturgical innovation. But also our Café Christchurch, which is already an institution in Sorel. It's existed for several years now, and welcomes people from the neighborhood, people who find themselves on restricted incomes, people who hang out in the Carré Royal, the Royal Square, just opposite the church and the rectory. So, and we also hope that this will evolve into an even more developed collaboration with other community organizations who have similar views and so on, similar objectives, to be able to respond to the needs of the people in the area. All of this, we hope, will be anchored by an admittedly small but lively faith community, Christian faith community. And so not only will it be activities, but there will be a sense of hope and lively spirituality emanating from this place. Another aspect of this project is that there are definite differences between restoration and renovation. There are certain parts of the house that will be restored, particularly the exterior. That's our first step. But also, we've discovered that the floor on the main floor, and also a good deal of the walls and so on upstairs, where I am now, will be restored in a second phase of restoration. Not right now. The interior work will be done in a subsequent year. But I want to show you one of the reasons why there's a difference between restoration and renovation. As you saw below, downstairs, all of the plaster and supports and so on from the original rectory, but the rooms and so on have been removed as the rectory was shaped for different purposes since 1968. But upstairs there's quite a bit that has been left as it is, and I just want to show you a little bit of the reason why. We had 3 architects here from the Ministry of Culture and Communications and from Parks Canada, from the federal level, scouring the place for what could be restored. And I want to show you what one of the things they found interesting about upstairs, where the plaster still remains. What I'm showing you now is a piece of the original plaster that can be found still upstairs. And the architect who came from Parks Canada was delighted when he discovered this, because he's an expert in this area. What he pointed out to us, and what I'm hope you can see, are the little hairs, pig hairs, that were put into the plaster to reinforce it and make it actually very strong. This was back in 1843 that this was constructed, and for over 150 years it's held up very well in this house.